You're not struggling from imposter syndrome. You're a student and pretending to be a teacher. No students say they feel like frauds for trying to learn. You're a fraud when you get up to teach the class, and you've never done it.
I'm a big advocate of leaning into discomfort. The thing about discomfort is that it's uncomfortable, and sometimes to admit to myself that, hey, the reason I'm not getting the results that I want isn't because I'm unlucky, it's because I'm just not good enough yet. And whenever I try to grow in an area, there's always going to be a period of where I'm not good at it, because that's what growth is. It's a development period. It's going from a level down here to going to a level up here, and when you're down here, it's not that fun. Goes from unconscious incompetence to consciously incompetent, which is probably the worst part, because I realize how far I've got to go, how much of an illusion I might have been in before. And then there comes the conscious competence phase. There comes a conscious competence phase where, yeah, I'm competent, but I've got to think really hard about what to do. And then eventually it becomes effortless. And that's where we all aspire to be. But it's hard. It's hard when learning something new, and it's uncomfortable. As hard as it is to hear, what Chris and Alex is saying is right on. And my apologies for the echo in this video. I think I had recorded with my headphones a little bit too close to the microphone. My apologies for that. Hopefully you can still get value from the video.
I think the difference between doing something new and being an imposter is one is pretending to be something that they're not. So I made the biggest investment in school. I'm making a bet that I think communities are going to be huge, and I think that there's a ton of people who want to teach skills they have in communities, etc., and school.com can help. But it would only be an imposter if I said, this is I guarantee it, no matter what, this is going to be the biggest thing ever. And one of the big things that I repeat, and from the marketing front, I say it all the time, I say, state the facts and tell the truth. The best marketing in the entire world is truth. Now, if the truth isn't compelling, it doesn't mean you lie. It means you change the world to make the facts compelling. As in, if I say, man, I want to be you see this one all the time. 18-year-olds who are I want to be a motivational speaker, right? I say, okay, well, what are your facts? You've done nothing. Great. So they then lie so that they can try and claim success that they don't deserve, so they can get authority that they can't back up, and eventually are called out and are flattened. To be fair, they only impress people who don't know anything anyways. So if they're honest about it, they look at their fact sheet and say, what would a motivational speaker have to have in order for them to have authority? And then that becomes your action list of what you need to do. And then once those facts are the truth, then you can state the facts and tell the truth. And then people will be like, wow, that's so motivational. But all you did was tell the truth. And so that is why I've so wholeheartedly rejected one, you are worthy. You are not worthy. If you had it, then you wouldn't even need to say you were worthy, because you'd already fucking have it. And if you were, I struggle with imposter syndrome. Why? You only struggle with imposter syndrome because you're fucking lying. That's why you feel like an imposter. And now they're why didn't, the thing is you can fudge the truth. You can not lie is very different than telling the truth. I can make something seem a certain way without deliberately breaking the law, but I'll know. And that's why you feel like an imposter, because you fucking know. And there's the guy in the other room who's clearing his throat, be like, that's not fucking true. And then that discord. But if you just say what you have done, or you say what you are doing, I'm making this big investment. It's a big bet for me. The reason I'm making this bet is because I see this trend and I think it's a good idea. I could be fucking wrong, but I'm not going to feel like an imposter because of it, because that's the truth.
I have mixed opinions about what Alex is saying here. If you, on one hand, if I get up in front of people and I tell them something that I don't believe in my heart, then I think I'm right to be called out as an imposter, because I think that's not authentic. If I get up on stage and I claim that I can help people increase the amount of business that they get by 25%, guarantee it, then I'm probably going to feel like a bit of a fraud, because I don't have a recipe for that, and I don't think that's my level of expertise. So I don't believe it in my heart. And so I think what Alex is saying here is, if I feel like an imposter, then keep working until I don't feel like an imposter anymore. So if I'm able, so I might have to ask myself, what level of results do I need to get to in order to not feel like an imposter anymore? I think where Alex's logic breaks down, or his rationale breaks down, is that for certain people, they will feel like it doesn't necessarily matter what result they achieve. They'll always feel like an imposter. Putting the causal factors for that aside, because that's like a whole nother area. There's certain people where that isn't. It's not as simple as that for them. In that they might get the results, but then they constantly keep moving the goalposts because they keep telling themselves a story that I'm not enough. And I've certainly been there myself as well. And especially when I was writing my book, I would sometimes just say to myself, who am I to be telling people about like how to make good decisions? Have I lived enough? Do I have enough experience to tell people about this? And so, and I feel like I'm one of these people that challenges my internal dialogue a lot. So I've done work to be able to challenge that internal dialogue. And sometimes I can remember what it was like before I did that work. And it's it can be a bit of a self-fulfilling prophecy, in that if I'm telling myself that I don't deserve these opportunities, then I'm less likely to seek them out, which means I'm less likely to get the results, which means I'm more likely to tell myself I don't deserve these opportunities. And so there's a subtlety here that I think Alex might be missing. And I think one of the ways that, so for Alex, it seems to be like an all or nothing thing, as in just like, if you feel like you're lacking the results, get the results and you get the confidence. I think that will work for some people. And I think for other people, what might work is the more kind of like softly approach that Cassandra Dunn talks about in her book, The Imposter Solution, which is really good. I can link, I'll post a link to the summary in the description. And that has more of a subtle approach that I think can help people, especially myself, when I get into these stages of just like telling myself, hey, like, who am I to be doing X, to slowly build that level of self-confidence in a way that is practical, and in a way that it's not just like just reading a book and then you don't do anything. There's really practical tips there. Also, a great Hormozi quote here is, outwork your self-doubt, which is something that I like to think about whenever I'm feeling unmotivated. I like to just think about the times that I've felt doubt in myself and what it might take to give that version of Joey that is probably lacking a little bit of confidence. What can I do to help that version of Joey forge ahead and really achieve his goals? So I hope this has been helpful. If you've struggled with Imposter Solution, please share in the comments, and I look forward to seeing you at the next video. Bye.